Den and Dart's Christmas Tale. The engines on the island of Sodor love Christmas time. They love hearing the children singing carols and building snowmen. But most of all, they look forward to the Fat Controller's Christmas party. Den and Dart were very busy at the fuel depot. There were lots of trucks to shunt and lots of trains to sort out. Den and Dart worked well together. When they first arrived, Den didn't like working with the steam engines, but Dart did. After the engines had rescued Dart from a fire, Den began to take a liking to the steam engines. Now Den is friendly towards them. It was the day of the Christmas party and the engines were busy sorting out the party at Kirkronan Station. The engines were pleased with the decorations. There was bunting, tinsel and even Christmas lights. The Fat Controller came to see Thomas. "I need you to collect the children from the school and bring them here to the party tonight," he said. Thomas smiled. He loved collecting children. "Yes, sir," he said. Then an idea came to him. "Please, sir, can Den and Dart come to the party?" The Fat Controller agreed. "Of course they can," he said. "Go find them and tell them that they are invited." "Yes, sir," whistled Thomas, and he puffed away to the fuel depot. At the fuel depot, the two diesels had shunted the last of the trucks into place. They were pleased to have finished their work. Thomas puffed up between them. He was pleased to see Den and Dart. "The Fat Controller is holding the Christmas party at Kirkronan Station," he said. "He says you two are invited to come as well." Den and Dart were very happy to hear this. "Hooray!" cheered Dart. "I can't wait to go." "We'll be there, Thomas," said Den. "We'll go and see the Fat Controller right away." "Thank you," said Thomas. "You'll love it. The children will be singing Christmas carols." "That will be fun," said Den. "I can't wait to hear them." "I must go," said Thomas. "I have to collect Annie and Clarabelle from the painters." Thomas puffed away, leaving Den feeling excited. But Dart was puzzled. "What's a Christmas carol, Den?" he asked. Den smiled. "A Christmas carol is what children sing at Christmas time," explained Den. "Every year children knock on doors and then sing to the neighbours." Dart was pleased to hear this. "Maybe we could join in the carols this year," he suggested. "We'll see what the Fat Controller says," said Den. "Come on, let's go and see the Fat Controller." And the two diesels set off to Kirkronan Station. On their way, they passed a field of children. Dart could see children playing in the snow and was surprised to see an engine in the field. "Look, Dad," he said. "There's an engine stuck in the snow. We must do something." Dan laughed. "That's not an engine in trouble," he chuckled. "That's a snow engine. The children have built it out of snow." Dart looked carefully. He then felt silly. "Oh, right," he sighed. "Silly me." Then the children turned round and saw Den and Dart. They walked over to the fence and waved happily to them. "Hello!" they cheered. The two diesels tooted happily in reply. "Hello!" smiled Dart. "We're going to the Christmas party," said a little boy. "Thomas is going to pick us up later," said a little girl. "We're going there too," smiled Den. "See you there." The two diesels tooted goodbye and rattled away. The children watched as they roared out of sight. The diesels trundled along the track towards the station. They couldn't wait to see the station all decorated. "I can't wait to see the other engines," Dart tooted. "I'm sure they'll all be there," smiled Den. In no time at all, they arrived at Kirkronan Station. They saw the station looking splendid. They rolled into the station and stopped by the buffers. Stepney was nearby delivering trucks of cakes and lots of wonderful treats. "This will be the best Christmas party ever," he smiled. Just then Arthur arrived with the breakdown train. They were going to be used to put up some big Christmas lights. Den and Dart looked at Arthur's flatbed.
Look at all those Christmas lights,
said Dart.
I've never seen decorations that big before,
said Den. Then Dart looked forward. He was surprised.
Look, Den, there's a big hole in the wall,
he gasped. Den was surprised too.
That's all right,
said a voice. It was the Fat Controller.
That's a panoramic view. It belongs to Gordon.
And he told Den and Dart all about what happened on the grand openings of the station. The Diesels couldn't help but chuckle a bit.
We mustn't laugh if Gordon tells us the story himself,
said Dart. Den agreed, but then he looked around the station. He was puzzled.
Excuse me, sir,
he said,
but where's the Christmas tree?
The Christmas tree is waiting at Lower Sudbury Station, said the Fat Controller. I need an engine to collect it. Then Den had an idea.
Please, sir, could we collect the Christmas tree?
He asked. Dart thought this was a good idea.
It would give us something to do,
he agreed. The Fat Controller thought for a moment, but then decided to agree.
Very well,
he said,
but be careful. Lower Sudbury Station is over Gordon's Hill, and the tracks there are slippery, so be careful.
Yes, sir,
said the Diesels.
Come on, Dart,
shouted Den.
We have a Christmas tree to collect.
Right away, Den,
said Dart. The two Diesels set off out of the station. As they chugged down the line, they passed Percy and Norman. They were delivering lots of Christmas post.
See you at the party,
called Den and Dart together. Percy and Norman whistled and tooted back. Dart felt very excited.
This will be the best Christmas joke ever,
he joked.
You bet it will,
smiled Den. Soon they came to the bottom of Gordon's Hill. The two Diesels came to a stop. They looked worried.
That's the biggest hill I've ever seen,
gasped Den.
We'll never get up there.
But Dart wasn't worried at all.
Nonsense, he scoffed. This hill will be easy to climb. Watch.
Dart took a deep breath and charged for the hill.
Slow down, Dart, he called. The tracks are slippery, remember?
But Dart didn't hear him, so Den raced up the hill after his friend. Dart choked and struggled as he raced up the hill.
Steady, Dart, called his driver, otherwise you'll have an accident.
Not me,
rattled Dart.
Nothing stops me.
At last, Dart reached the top of the hill. He started to choke down the other side. Then there was trouble. Dart started to slip and slide on the icy track. Dart looked ahead and saw a pile of snow at the bottom of the hill.
Oh no, he cried. Help!
His driver applied the brakes, but Dart's wheels slipped on the tracks. Dart shut his eyes as he hit the snowdrift. No one was hurt, but Dart was buried up to his buffers in snow. Dart coughed and his driver mopped his forehead. Den chugged up slowly alongside. He couldn't help but laugh.
Looks like you got your Christmas tail after all,
he laughed.
But I didn't expect it to go like this.
Dart felt very silly.
Never mind the jokes, he sighed. Please get me out.
The drivers did their best to clear the snow away from Dart. Then Den's driver coupled him up to Dart. Then, using all his strength, Den heaved and hauled. At last, with a mighty shove, Dart was free. Dart was pleased to be out of the snow.
Thank you, Den,
he smiled.
No problem,
smiled Den.
Now let's get that Christmas tree.
Dart agreed, and the two friends chugged on. They reached the station a little late, but pleased to have arrived. Den was pleased to see the tree.
Now then, Dart,
he said,
if I push, can you pull?
Of course I can,
said Dart.
We'd better get the two of you turned round.
said Den's driver. Den agreed, so they chugged away to find a turntable. Soon, everything was ready. Dart was coupled up to the front, and Den was coupled up to the back.
Remember to go slowly up the hill,
cautioned the station master. Dart listened this time. He didn't want to have another accident like he did before.
Yes, sir,
he said.
Ready, Den?
Ready,
tooted Den. So the two diesels set off out of the station with the Christmas tree. When they got to Gordon's Hill, they charged up the hill. The tracks were slippery, but they were determined to make it to the top. At last they made it. Then the driver slowed them down as they started to make their way down.
Take care, Dart,
called Den, and Dart did. His wheels spun slowly and carefully. They reached the bottom, safe and sound. Den and Dart were very pleased.
Now, onto the station,
tooted Den.
Way ahead of you,
smiled Dart. At last they choked into the station. They could see the Fat Controller waiting on the platform. Dart was worried. What would the Fat Controller say about his accident? The Fat Controller was stern with him.
Dart, you need to be more careful when going up Gordon's Hill,
he said.
Remember, safety first.
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir,
said Dart.
Now, let's get the Christmas tree unloaded,
said the Fat Controller. Soon the tree was unloaded and put into place, and the men went to work decorating it. That night, everything was ready. The tables were laid out with lots of party food, and even Mrs. Kindly had made a special Christmas pudding. There was enough for everyone. All the engines waited eagerly for the party to start. Then, the Fat Controller made an announcement.
I would like to say well done to everyone who helped to make this party possible,
he said.
So now, I shall switch on the Christmas lights.
The Fat Controller pulled a lever, and with a flash, all the Christmas lights came on. Everyone gasped. So did the engines. Everyone cheered and clapped, and the engines whistled and tooted.
What a party!
Smiled Percy. This is the best party I've ever been to, agreed Norman.
The Christmas lights are beautiful,
smiled Emily.
And so is the Christmas tree,
added Den. The children started to sing carols, and everyone helped themselves to the party food. This is the best Christmas party ever, smiled Arthur. And everyone agreed, especially Den and Dart.
Merry Christmas, Den,
smiled Dart.
Merry Christmas, Dart,
grinned Den. And the two friends felt like the happiest diesels on the whole railway. And they were too.